The cultivation method of a perfect female lead is a story of an ordinary and unremarkable beautiful girl gradually growing into an all-around superstar. P.S. This book runs parallel to the world of entertainment, and readers who enjoy this genre can rest assured to enter the pit. Fan group for this book. 437436394 keywords of the novel. I am truly a female celebrity without pop-ups. I am truly a female celebrity. Download the complete set of TXT, I am truly a female celebrity. Read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Perfect Body. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Perfect Body. Gu Qingge looked at the beautiful girl character she had spent a long time crafting with satisfaction. As the saying goes, 1 minute of the game, 1 hour of facial contouring. If she didn't craft a character with perfect appearance and figure, wouldn't that lack a sense of immersion? Next, Gu Qingge rubbed her hands and finally happily clicked, Start Game. However, her eyes turned black and she collapsed in front of her highly configured computer. Gu Qingge had no idea what was happening and felt as if there was a progress bar in his mind indicating that the system was loading. After the progress bar reached 100%, he finally regained consciousness. What the hell, I've become the game character I've made up for myself. After regaining consciousness, Gu Qingge was surprised to find that she was washing her hands in front of a strange sink. When she looked up, she found that the girl's appearance and figure in the mirror were clearly the beautiful girl she had spent a long time carefully crafting. The girl has an flawless and impeccable perfect cheek, fair and delicate skin, tall and symmetrical figure, slender legs, and a proportion that perfectly matches the golden ratio. This is the perfect embodiment of the face-pinching expert Gu Qingge's technique. The problem is that before, the girl was just a game character, and it's not an exaggeration to call her a paper person. But now, she has become a flesh and blood real person. In fact, Gu Qingge is a person who is extremely addicted to games. She plays all kinds of games and is very good at them. In reality, her profession is a professional game guide creator, and her fans even call her the God of Strategy. Now, when Gu Qingge realized that she had become the game character she had created, and even suspected of crossing over, she was only surprised for a moment before quickly calming down. What makes Gu Qingge feel even more at ease is that there is already a system in her mind, so there is nothing to be afraid of. When it comes to playing games, she has absolute confidence. She recalled that although she had not yet officially started playing this celebrity girl development game similar to Sims, she inexplicably crossed over to the game characters she had created, but she still remembered the introduction and gameplay of the game. The protagonist of the game is initially an ordinary girl, and players need to improve her attribute points and learn various skills by completing various tasks, ultimately making her more and more perfect and dazzling, becoming a superstar and a life winner. Tut, the face I made is really ordinary. Gu Qingge looked at himself in the mirror and said roast narcissistically. Next, she quickly entered the character and gave a faint command. System, open my character attribute table. Gu Qingge noticed a holographic light screen that only she could see, with her character image, corresponding character attributes, skills, and more. This interface is still very refreshing and concise, with only 2 character attributes. Physical strength and charm. Physical strength clearly refers to the comprehensive ability of physical fitness, including strength, agility, skills, etc. Currently, her physical strength value is only 28, which is very low, far from the average value of 50 for the average person, let alone compared to those professional athletes and fitness experts. However, Gu Qingge is completely calm. With the system in place, she can slowly add some points and move towards the full value of 100. If Gu Qingge's stamina value of 28 is acceptable, then she is a bit dissatisfied with her charm value of only 58. Is this system looking down on her god-level face-pinching technique? When Gu Qingge raised such doubts, the precise and mechanical explanation of the system immediately appeared in her mind. It turned out that charm value did not only refer to appearance, but also included talent, art, temperament, reputation, and so on. Just thinking about it, if a person only has appearance but is useless in other aspects, it cannot be called high charm. The ancients have long said that gold and jade are nothing but superficial. Nowadays, Guchinga can be said to be so beautiful that only one face is left, and she is a typical vase, which is why she is so ordinary. Considering that this is a celebrity girl development game, this opening is quite reasonable. After understanding the meanings represented by stamina and charm, Guchinga browsed through her skill list. There is only one skill in the list, which is a purple card with Master Level Game Technique, Restricted, written on it, temporarily equivalent to Mastery Level. The reason for the restriction is precisely because her stamina value is too low, which may be called brain. Yes, basic operation. Hand. No, you don't know. The skill cards are divided into 5 colors, corresponding to 5 levels. Gold, Divine Level, Purple, Master Level, Blue, Expert Level, Green, Mastery Level, and White, Entry Level. Ah. I actually inherited my gaming skills in real life, but the system only gave me a Master Level rating, which is a bit unpleasant. However, there must be a way to upgrade purple cards to gold, so there's no need to rush. Guchinga's displeasure was met with a systematic explanation. After being bound to Guchinga, it seemed to have become her most loyal licking dog. It turns out that purple card, Master Level, is already an extremely precious and rare existence. Only humans who are already geniuses can elevate to such a level through hard work. For ordinary people, upgrading a certain skill to a white card, Entry Level, is not an easy task. Taking piano skills as an example, Piano Level 10 can be considered a white card, which is a strong hobby and sufficient in daily life. If you have a green card, Proficiency Level, Piano Skill, you can become a professional pianist. As for becoming a famous pianist, a blue card, Expert Level, is necessary, while a purple card, Master Level, is more stable. As for the golden card, Divine Level, Piano Skill, it means that you can play notes like characters in novels or comics, creating a perfect atmosphere, as if pulling the audience into an illusion, like exaggerated, glowing cuisine. With this explanation from the system, Guchinga naturally understood the preciousness of the purple card, Master Level, which means that once her gaming skills are no longer limited, she can even become a starry sports player. This wave was earned by her. In addition to skill cards, there are also prop cards, item cards, ability enhancement cards, work cards, etc., all of which need to be obtained through a lottery. The lottery costs a material called cultivation jade, with 600 cultivation jade drawn in one draw and 5,500 cultivation jade drawn in 10 consecutive draws. It is actually the in-game redemption point for this celebrity girl development game, where wealthy players can directly recharge and draw cards to accelerate character development. Unfortunately, Guchinga is not really playing this game right now. She has just traveled to a parallel world with the game system inside, and the cryptocurrency function is naturally disabled. Guchinga, the preliminary art exam is about to begin. Are you feeling nervous? A slightly mocking female voice sounded beside Guchinga. Ding dong, from Zhu Xingyi, jealousy value increases by 1, and gains 10 cultivation jade. Guchinga turned her head slightly and saw Zhu Xingyi, the good person, who provided her with nurturing jade. Originally, there is also this setting where as long as you increase others' jealousy value, you can reap the cultivation jade. To be precise, it should be someone else's envy value, jealousy value, and hate value that can help Guchinga obtain cultivation jade. However, envy value is the cheapest. One envy value can only obtain 1 cultivation jade, hate value is the most expensive, and 1 hate value can obtain 100 cultivation jade. However, increasing someone else's hatred level clearly carries risks. If the other person's hatred level explodes and they directly kill someone, it can be tricky. Gu Qingge believes that if her stamina is high enough and she has mastered many self-protection skills, she can freely brush her hatred value and harvest cultivation jade. However, to put it another way, the setting of making people envy, hate and then reap the cultivation of jade is really a bit lacking. It doesn't mean that she deliberately tries to pretend, show off, be evil with people, and make people hate her. It's not easy to cultivate a celebrity beautiful girl with this thought in mind. Gu Qingge raised her chin slightly and deliberately responded to Zhu Xingyi with arrogance and narcissism. Do you think that with my appearance, I won't pass the preliminary art exam? Zhu Xingyi was taken aback by such a blatant response. Although she was very unhappy, she couldn't refute it. She looked at Gu Qingge's flawless cheek, with even more jealousy in her eyes. Ding dong, jealousy from Zhu Xingyi increases by 5 and gains 50 cultivation jade. The mechanical prompt sound of the system only sounded so pleasant to Gu Qingge. Zhu Xingyi snorted coldly, ignoring Gu Qingge, and simply walked into the bathroom on her own. Gu Qingge left the sink and opened the system's task interface at the same time. Current main task. Pass the art examination at Huaxia University of the Arts and enter the Department of Chinese Performing Arts. Task completion reward. White skill card, entry. Level acting, cultivate jade 600, charm value +1, energy potion x5. Side challenge task. Make a name for yourself in the art exam and achieve first place in the exam with absolute strength. Task completion reward. A random green skill card, proficiency level, task entrusted. Currently unavailable. Daily tasks. Fitness exercise, skincare, artistic creation, making people envious, jealous, and resentful. All tasks have no penalty for failure, indicating that these tasks are not mandatory. After browsing through these tasks, Gu Qingge felt that the main task should not be a problem, and just brush your face to complete it. Being beautiful is the hard truth. The side challenge task is quite difficult for her because she doesn't have much talent at all. She's just a vase that knows how to play games. How can she get first place in the exam? As for daily tasks, in Gu Qingge's view, they are actually, hard work pays off, persistence pays off. Unfortunately, ordinary people cannot see their rewards and gains through the system, so even daily fitness exercises are difficult to persist for a long time. Gu Qingge certainly doesn't like exercising, but in order to improve her stamina, she can definitely persist, which is the meaning of daily tasks. Gu Qingge pursues completing all tasks, collections, and achievements in any game she plays, so she is very unwilling to be able to complete the side challenge task of making a name for herself in the art exam. Unfortunately, today is the day of the art exam, and there is no time for her to improve her talent. Just as she was feeling unwell, the system's prompt sound came on. Ding dong, please pay attention to checking the beginner's gift package. I almost forgot, there's also a beginner gift pack. Gu Qingge eagerly opened it. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Art Exam Preliminary Exam. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Art Exam Preliminary Exam. The beginner's gift package can be said to be very generous. In addition to various clothing, prop materials, and energy potions produced by synthesis systems, the most precious one is undoubtedly the 10 consecutive draw coupon. You should know that the beginner benefit is a permanent golden skill card that must be used for the first 10 consecutive times. Isn't this wave as stable as an iron egg? Use 10 consecutive draw coupons. Gu Qingge decisively withdrew the draw. The lottery was completed instantly, but she didn't flip through all the cards at once. Instead, she looked at them one by one. After all, it was the first 10 consecutive draws in a new life, and there should be a sense of ceremony. Open the first card, increase your ability and stamina by 1. Gu Qingge did not choose to use it immediately because she felt that using the ability improvement card while her stamina was still so low would be very detrimental. It is better to wait for her to rely on her own efforts to improve her stamina to the limit before using it. This is the basic idea of gamers. The second one is a memory-boosting card, 4 hours, which significantly improves the character's memory during use. Open the third one, item card, a set of evening dresses with 5 charm points. The fourth page opens, prop card, nuclear cola cherry flavor, greatly increasing creative inspiration for 2 hours. Guchinga's face has become somewhat unattractive. What she needs is a skill card to do side challenge tasks, but what are the ghosts in the first 4 draws? Although there will definitely be a guaranteed gold, divine level, skill card in the future, it is obvious that having more skill cards is beneficial, even for limited time experience cards. The fifth one opened and turned out to be a purple, master level, skill card. Still permanent. Guchinga suddenly felt a joy in her heart, feeling that the wave had taken off, but when she saw the name of the skill, she almost got angry. Purple, master level, skill card. Repeated horizontal jumps. After equipping the character with this skill card, they can easily perform repeated horizontal jumps. Pretending to be cool is not a problem. I am the king of force, what can I do for you? Are you playing with my mentality in the dog system? Can you still play this game well? Guchinga became angry. Open the sixth card, limited time green, proficiency level, skill card. Vocal. Skill card effect lasts for 1 day after use. Opening the 7th page, work card. Modern poem, To the Oak Tree. Open the 8th card, permanent white, entry. Level, skill card. Lines. Seeing this, Guchinga's anger has finally decreased a lot. No wonder many games have to curse before opening cans and drawing cards. Not cursing really means not shipping. The 9th one opened, and suddenly a golden light shone. Permanent gold, god level, skill card micro expression or even emotionless lie detection. After equipping this skill card, the character never has to worry about being deceived. As long as the other person speaks, they can immediately determine whether they are lying. Tisk, is this the dog system worried that I might be deceived? Although I am really good at playing games, I do lack social experience. I am so beautiful, and the water in the entertainment industry is so deep. There are various hidden rules, contract traps, and so on. Forget it, this golden skill card is quite practical. Guchinga nodded slightly, expressing satisfaction, and finally opened the last card. The work card is the song, Little Love Song. The result of 10 consecutive draws is generally acceptable. With the 2 skill cards of limited time mastery level vocal music and permanent entry. Level dialogue, combined with the selected work cards, even if the performance department of Huaxia University of the Arts is even more difficult to take, Guchinga is confident in winning the first place in the army and completing the side challenge task. In this parallel world where many classic works have been replaced by other classics, the work cards she drew from the system are already equivalent to original, which is too foul. She has a whole world of classic works as her trump card. Huaxia University of the Arts is located in the capital city of China, Beijing, and is on par with Central University of the Arts. Both top art universities have strong performance departments, and it is said that Hui produces stars, while Zhongyi produces actors. Every year, many handsome men and beautiful women come to Hui to apply, and the ratio of application to admission even reaches a cruel 200.1. In addition, there are also celebrity students who have already entered the entertainment industry taking exams every year, which makes the competition for art exams even more fierce. In the art exam that Guchinga participated in, there was a celebrity student named Song Lei. Her father was a senior director, and with his connections and talent in acting, she has appeared in a movie and several TV dramas, and her audience is quite good. As a star student like Song Lei, as long as she chooses to apply for Hui, she has almost no chance of losing and her ranking will be very high, which is the advantage of becoming famous early. Today, Song Lei came to participate in the preliminary exam of the Hui art examination, and even reporters from Beijing TV station followed her. As soon as she got out of the car, various entertainment journalists surrounded her with long guns and short cannons, interviewing her one after another. The interview questions are nothing more than asking her how well she is preparing for the art exam and whether she has confidence. I have prepared very well. This time, my goal for the Hawaii art examination is to be the first in my major. If I don't get the first place, I will go to Zhongyi. Song Lei responded confidently to the reporter. She achieved success at a young age and never encountered any setbacks, so she is a high-profile and outspoken person. This is simply the type that journalists like the most. After all, she can make big news from her. However, this time when Song Lei spoke like this, not many people refuted in their hearts. After all, there were no other celebrity students in the Hawaii art examination this time, and Song Lei did indeed have real talent and learning. Who won if she didn't take first place? There are a total of 3 exams in the Hawaii art examination, namely the preliminary exam, the second exam, and the third exam. The initial exam usually tests physical form and lines, and the exam time is very short, almost less than a minute. You may only recite 7 or 8 sentences and then stop because there are too many candidates participating in the initial exam, and the vast majority of candidates are brushed off during the initial exam. The second round of the exam mainly focuses on vocal music, while the third round involves improvised commentary, improvised collaborative sketches, and so on. Generally, candidates who can participate in the third round of the exam are likely to pass the art exam. The preliminary exam is about to begin, and Gu Chinga has already walked into the exam room, queuing up for the candidates in front to recite. That's right, besides facing the scrutiny of 5 examiners, the candidate is also in a state of being surrounded by other candidates, with other people waiting for the exam sitting on both sides of the candidate. Often, candidates with poor psychological resilience may feel nervous and stage fright in such situations, forgetting their previously memorized essays, modern poetry, etc., leading to direct elimination from the initial exam. Coincidentally, the candidate in front of Gu Chinga was actually the star student Song Lei, who claimed to be the top scorer before the exam. However, Gu Chinga doesn't know each other at all, or in other words, she doesn't know any of the stars in this parallel world, so she has no pressure. However, when Song Lei was taking the exam, the aura emanating from her self-introduction far surpassed that of other candidates, attracting Gu Chinga's attention. "Hello teachers, I am Song Lei, the 10th candidate." Those examiners who were originally slightly numb were all energized. The TV reporter who has been following Song Lei immediately signaled the cameraman to start filming, which is the treatment for celebrity students. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. To the Oak Tree. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. To the Oak Tree. Song Lei recited a prose poem called Warm Sun in Winter, by Lu Xingyong, a famous essayist and modern poet. This is obviously a carefully selected work by Song Lei. It is not considered a popular work, so naturally it will not collide with other candidates. However, it is not a niche and unknown work. After all, its author is Lu Xingyong. Song Lei's recitation has full emotions and tension, combined with her swinging limbs, which can be said to fully demonstrate the infectious power of her lines. Even an outsider can easily see the gap between her and the previous candidates. The TV station's follow-up reporter couldn't help but say to the photographer, Song Lei's decision to take the first place should be a definite thing. Taking good photos of these are all good materials. The photographer nodded in agreement. Seeing now, he didn't think that any candidate could perform as well as Song Lei as a whole. Some candidates may have even surpassed Song Lei in terms of appearance, but it gave the impression that they didn't have Song Lei's aura and spirituality. Song Lei's recitation time has far exceeded that of other candidates. It is obvious that this is the preference of the examiners for her, and she also intends to set an example so that future candidates can learn more. However, this approach put even greater pressure on candidates after Song Lei, some of whom had already turned pale and had no choice, and the gap was too big. Gu Chinga still seems very relaxed. She just communicated with the system and saw how the system evaluated Song Lei's line level. However, the evaluation given by the system was very strict. Song Lei's dialogue skills have not yet reached the entry-level, and can only be said to be close. This evaluation from the system has made Guchinga more relaxed. After all, she has already been equipped with an entry-level dialogue skill card. She really doesn't want to defeat other candidates, she just wants to complete the side challenge task of making a name for herself in the art exam. As the examiners asked Song Lei to stop reciting and generously praised her, Guchinga, who was the only one after Song Lei, received sympathetic glances from many people. What should the next one do when Song Lei performs so well in front? Perhaps only Zhu Xingyi, who comes from the same place and school as Guchinga, would secretly gloat. Zhu Xingyi and Guchinga are both students from Handong Senior High School in Jiangnan Province. They are still classmates, but their relationship is very poor. The natural reason is that Guchinga is more beautiful than Zhu Xingyi, and Zhu Xingyi is naturally jealous. Of course, Guchinga now hopes that the more jealous people like Zhu Xingyi, the better. Then there were campus rumors that Zhu Xingyi had clearly expressed a liking for academic achiever Chen Xiao, but Chen Xiao firmly refused because Chen Xiao's crush was Guchinga. In short, all of this makes Zhu Xingyi full of resentment towards Guchinga. Anyway, Zhu Xingyi, who is also on site now but has a lower score in the exam, is feeling comfortable. She is waiting to see Guchinga's joke. As far as Zhu Xingyi knows, Guchinga has no talent at all, and her academic performance is mediocre. She can be said to be useless in all aspects except for her face. However, she wishes Xingyi that she can at least sing a good song and become a KTV champion. The original Guchinga even had a vague personality, without any distinctive features or edges. At this moment, Guchinga, with a simple ponytail tied and her forehead completely exposed, finally walked to the center of the exam room. Her footsteps were light, and she wore a relaxed smile on her face. It seemed that what she was going to do next was not a cruel art exam, but a simple small game. There's no way, Guchinga, who has already mastered the entry-level dialogue skills, is so confident. The 5 examiners present, due to Song Lei, are still in a very energetic state. When they saw Guchinga's appearance, even though they were used to various handsome men and beautiful women, they couldn't help but show a stunning expression. With just this face, the girl's physique can earn a perfect score. Not to mention, the young girl's figure is also perfect, it can be said that she is extremely symmetrical. If she were to learn dance again, how wonderful and moving would the dance she dances be. Song Lei, who had originally finished the exam, was already preparing to leave the exam room. By chance, she turned around and stopped her steps when she saw Guchinga in the center of the exam room. Song Lei wanted to see what kind of performance this young girl, who is capable of carrying beauty in committing crimes, could have in her lines next. Like previous candidates, Guchinga bowed to the 5 examiners before introducing herself confidently. "Hello teachers, I am Guchinga, the 11th candidate, and I come from." As soon as she introduced herself without any nervousness or stage fright, it already made the examiners feel good about her, while other candidates couldn't believe it because Guchinga's confident demeanor was no worse than Song Lei before. The line recitation I have chosen is the modern poem, To the Oak Tree. There is an examiner named Guhausen, who is a professor at Hawaii and a senior in the field of drama. He has a profound literary literacy, but now he has revealed a hint of doubt. Of course, this is because Guhausen has never heard of To the Oak Tree before, and he couldn't help but criticize it. With such an outstanding physique, the work he chose was too niche and obscure, right? It's not that being niche and obscure is not good, but it's because works that are too niche will definitely have the same level of creativity, which will definitely affect the candidate's line performance. After Guchinga's appearance and self-introduction, Guhausen developed a love for such a good talent, and he really hopes that Guchinga can perform better. Guhausen even considered that if Guchinga's recitation works were too average, just make her think a few words. Anyway, she must pass her first attempt, and no art university would reject such a good talent. After Guchinga has brewed her emotions, her entry-level dialogue skills are stimulated. To the oak tree if I love you, never like climbing skyflowers, show off yourself with your tall branches. If I love you, never learn from the infatuated bird, repeating monotonous songs for the green shade. It's not just like a spring, bringing refreshing comfort year-round. It's not just like dangerous peaks. Increase your height and set off your dignity. Even sunlight. Even spring rain. No, these are not enough. I must be a kapok plant next to you, standing with you in the shape of a tree. Love, not only do I love your majestic body, I also love the position you hold on to, the land under your feet. Since Guchinga began reciting, "To the oak tree," not a single examiner asked her to stop, and even everyone sat upright with their eyes lit up. Is this level of dialogue truly something that a high school junior who has not yet entered university can possess? The most crucial thing is that this student has no reputation and has not yet entered the entertainment industry. The time given by the 5 examiners to Guchinga's performance even exceeded that of the previous celebrity candidate. Song Lei. Guchinga recited "To the Oak Tree" fluently and emotionally. Guhausen has already doubted his literary literacy in his heart. Why has he never heard of such a good modern poem as "To the Oak Tree"? End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Talent and Willfulness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Talent and Willfulness. After Guchinga finished reciting, the whole room was quiet, as if the remaining rhymes of poetry were still circulating in the exam room. Apart from the 5 examiners, the other candidates in the examination room, as well as the staff, were also shocked and their hearts were filled with turmoil. What exactly is the origin of Guchinga? Her lines are also very good, isn't it? Her aura is even stronger than Song Lei before. Is this a natural star? I couldn't help but sympathize with her. She happened to be Song Lei's next, but now I realize that Song Lei is just her stepping stone. It's over, it's over. What should I do, someone like me who ranks behind Song Lei and Guchinga? I'm completely crushed. The Pingjing TV reporter, who had previously concluded that Song Lei was absolutely certain to win the first place in the Hawaii art examination, clearly changed his mind. He said excitedly to the photographer, "Did you just capture the performance of Guchinga on the 11th? This material is even more explosive. How could it make a big news?" The photographer couldn't help but praise, "We've all captured it. Actually, as soon as she appeared, I couldn't bear to turn off the camera. Her appearance was so perfect, but I didn't expect her later performance to be even better than Song Lei." The reporter's name is Zhang Xiang, and after getting excited, his face showed a regretful expression. He said, "Unfortunately, the task assigned by the higher authorities this time is to shoot a video of Song Lei's art exam as material to promote her. This is for the sake of Song's face, so even if Guchinga performs better than Song Lei, we cannot get the key points wrong." Lu Jianjun, the photographer, only skimmed his mouth when he heard the news. The official media such as Pingjing TV can't report indiscriminately, but now the internet media should not be too developed. The material captured can be sent to the internet to earn just enough traffic. He has all the headlines in mind. Shocked. Song Lei, a popular actress known for her acting skills, unexpectedly lost the art exam to her pure amateur. At this moment, the 5 examiners present almost all had satisfied expressions on their faces. One of the female examiners couldn't help but praise her, "Guchinga, your performance is really great. You must have put in a lot of effort before the exam, and even received professional training, right?" The Golden God level skill, lie detection, automatically activates, telling Guchinga that the female examiner's praise for her truly comes from the heart and is true. Guchinga felt that she had received professional training in game systems, so she nodded and replied, "Well, I have prepared well for this art exam and I want to achieve the best results." The female examiner who received the answer became increasingly satisfied, and she liked this kind of talented and hard-working young talent. According to the usual procedure, there are no questions asked in the preliminary art exam. Even Song Lei, who was previously honored, did not receive this honor. However, now, besides this female examiner, Guhausen, who has a deep literary literacy, can't help but feel overwhelmed. Gu Qingge, this modern poem to the oak tree is undoubtedly an excellent work, but I have never heard of it before. May I ask which excellent poet's work it is? Guhausen asked curiously. Gu Qingge had already checked the internet before the exam and confirmed that Xu Ting did not exist in this parallel world. Therefore, she said calmly, it seems that there is no rule in the art exam that one cannot recite their own works, right? As soon as these words were spoken, the examiners and candidates present were once again shocked. They didn't expect Gu Qingge to be so talented and write such good modern poetry as they please. If there were still people who thought that even though Gu Qingge's lines were so excellent, Song Lei could still win first place with her fame and strong background, then now this idea has dissipated. This kind of originality and literary cultivation is really a bonus. At least in Guhausen's eyes, Gu Qingge, who recites his original modern poetry, has far surpassed Song Lei. Okay. I hope there are more and more talented and confident candidates like you, and I hope you can write more and better modern poetry in the future. I will definitely read it when the time comes, said Guhausen with a look of anticipation. In fact, he also meant to test Gu Qingge by saying this. If this song, To the Oak Tree, was not her original, she would probably be a bit panicked, worried that she would never be able to write such an excellent work again. Upon hearing Guhausen's words, Gu Qingge had already instantly determined that it was a lie. No problem, if inspiration comes, whether it's writing poetry or songs, it's easy for me, Gu Qingge said with a natural expression, showing extraordinary confidence. After all, for her, the prerequisite for inspiration is to accumulate enough nurturing jade, and then the lottery is over. With a systematic licking dog, she will never panic. Upon seeing her reaction, Guhausen's suspicion naturally disappeared from his heart, but then suddenly a hint of envy rose. Who wouldn't envy such a talented and capricious person? And the other candidates present were not only envious, but also all kinds of jealousy. Why don't I have Gu Qingge's beauty or talent? How unfair. Gu Qingge's mind once again heard a pleasant system prompt sound that made her happy, ding dong, envy value from Guhausen. Harvest and cultivation jade. Ding dong, the jealousy value from Song Lei. Ding dong, the jealousy value from Zhu Xingyi. Ding dong, from. In fact, Zhu Xingyi's jealousy level is still very stable, which has led to Gu Qingge having a good impression of her. As someone with a naturally strong jealousy, she hopes that the more, the better. Actually, at this moment, Zhu Xingyi's whole person is not doing well. Even though she was gloating before, she wanted to see Gu Qingge's joke. What happened? However, Gu Qingge dominated the exam room with excellent performance. Even the star student Song Lei became her stepping stone, which made Zhu Xingyi jealous. When did Gu Qingge become so talented? It feels so uncomfortable. If Zhu Xingyi's jealousy level is very high, then the jealousy level of celebrity candidate Song Lei is quite ordinary, because she didn't know Gu Qingge at all before. Who would be jealous of strangers without any worries? However, just now Gu Qingge's performance was really outstanding, and she also showed a talented and capricious look, which really made Song Lei feel a little jealous of such an outstanding girl of the same age, which is not beyond human nature. Song Lei gave Gu Qingge a deep glance and immediately left. She knew that the top spot in the art exam this time might not have been with her. She couldn't help but think of the big words she made before the art exam, and immediately felt a headache. When the ranking of the art exam results came out, the media that interviewed her might be going crazy at this point. She couldn't help but feel a slight resentment towards Gu Qingge. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Family and Friends. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Family and Friends. Gu Qingge didn't know that Song Lei had already developed some resentment towards her. Even if she knew, she didn't really care. She even hoped that Song Lei could increase her efforts, escalate the resentment to hatred, and then generate resentment. Anyway, this time in the art exam, Gu Qingge has gained a lot. In addition to passing the exam with a perfect score, she has also earned hundreds of cultivation jade. If she has such gains again, she can draw 1 or 2 prizes. Of course, compared to single draws, 10 consecutive draws are naturally more cost-effective, so Gu Qingge is not in a hurry to continue the lottery, just hold on to it. After the initial exam, a few days later there will be a second exam, which will focus on showcasing talents such as vocal music, dance, and traditional Chinese opera. Many candidates choose vocal music, which can be simply understood as singing, and the songs are freely chosen by the candidates. Some candidates who are very confident in their singing skills and abilities will definitely choose songs with higher difficulty and more expressive power to impress the examiner and achieve higher scores. Zhu Xingyi is very confident in her singing skills and has prepared a big move. She secretly swears to clear her previous shame. She doesn't believe that Gu Qingge can still be as stunning as her lines in talent shows. Previously, Zhu Xingyi passed the art entrance examination with quite a thrilling performance. After Song Lei and Gu Qingge, her performance was hit hard by Gu Qingge's performance. In addition, she did not have a strong foundation in dialogue, so her performance in the initial examination can be said to be quite average. Fortunately, Zhu Xingyi's physical fitness score was quite good, and she also highly valued her physical fitness in the preliminary art exam, so she managed to pass the exam without any danger. The current time is late February, and the weather in the capital city of Pingjing is still very cold and dry. Although the hotel where Gu Qingge stayed was very cheap, at least the heating was sufficient. She lazily lay in bed, playing with the low-end smartphone she used to disdain buying. The games in this world, even if they are just mobile games, are very fresh for Gu Qingge. A game enthusiast like her is so happy. Now that the art exam has passed smoothly, while playing games to relax, Gu Qingge finally has time to carefully sort out the character background and interpersonal relationships of the game characters she has created in this world. System, retrieve the original memory of this body for me. Gu Qingge proficiently commanded the system. Next, many memories and images appeared in Gu Qingge's mind. Gu Qingge, who comes from a family in this parallel world, can be said to be very ordinary. Her father is an ordinary company employee, and her mother is a teacher, which still conforms to the setting of an ordinary girl. Then the girl actually had a younger brother named Gu Wenzhou, who was 2 years younger than her. He was 15 years old and in his first year of high school. Strangely enough, Gu Qingge's appearance does not resemble Gu's father, mother, and Wenzhou at all. There's no way, although Gu's father, mother, and family all have good looks, there is still a significant gap compared to Gu Qingge. With the genes of Gu's father and mother, it is certain that Gu Qingge, a truly unparalleled beauty, cannot be born. Later, I'm afraid there will be a story of fancy dog blood. What kind of girl from ordinary origins is actually the daughter of a rich family who was wrongly held and exiled among the people? Gu Qingge roast in advance. Gu Qingge has a very rich gaming experience. This girl with a mediocre start will become more and more famous in the future. In order to enrich the plot and allow the characters to step onto a larger stage, the game producers like to mess around like this anyway. Gu Qingge is actually quite satisfied with the girl's background, because through her memory of the scene, she also felt that although the Gu family is not wealthy, it is very harmonious and warm. Gu Qingge, the eldest daughter, is even more favored at home. Who made her look beautiful? In addition, the ordinary personality of a girl without personality and edges is also well liked by her parents. Which parents don't like obedient children? Like Gu Wenzhou's personality, it is completely opposite to that of a young girl. His personality is very distinct, stubborn. So the relationship between Gu Wenzhou and the girl is very average. Even if they are in the same school, no one knows they are siblings, and the girl rarely hears Gu Wenzhou call her sister. TSK, this kind of brother with a cold relationship can be used as a tool. Foolish ududu, hate. And then provide me with a nurturing jade. Gu Qingge smiled wickedly and happily. For super players like Gu Qingge, some of her vulgar actions can indeed drive hatred, earn money, and develop jade. Business is not shabby. However, this parallel world is not a real computer game, and Gu Qingge cannot play without any bottom line. If she really treats living people as NPCs, she still has basic legal and moral views. Apart from her family, the girl doesn't have many friends, and even her suitors are few. This may be because her appearance puts too much pressure on people, but it gives people a unique sense of distance. Girls with many true suitors may be those who have an average appearance and an outgoing personality, as they can create the illusion that boys are more likely to pursue them. Goddesses like girls often have a crush on them. Just because a girl has few friends doesn't mean she doesn't. She has a friend named Lin Yun, who has been her classmate since elementary school and has been with her ever since high school. Lin Yun's appearance is naturally far inferior to that of a young girl. She is just a middle-aged woman, but her grades have always been good. A true top student, her personality is also very gentle and affectionate. The girl had little talent in learning and relied solely on Lin Yun's guidance to barely enter the current key high school, Handong Senior High School. Later, she couldn't keep up and, at Lin Yun's suggestion, went to an art class. Lin Yun and the girl have made an appointment to attend university together in the capital city of Pingjing in the future. So as soon as Gu Qingge finished her preliminary art exam, Lin Yun sent a message to inquire about her performance. Gu Qingge replied that everything went smoothly. Similarly concerned about her, there are naturally also parents who care about her. In fact, Gu's father and mother did not initially support the girl to take the art school entrance exam, as it was very expensive. However, in the end, they gritted their teeth and supported the girl, at least giving her a chance to pursue her dreams. For this reason, Gu Wenzhou, the younger brother of the girl, was sacrificed a lot. After all the money was spent on her sister. This also made Gu Wenzhou very obsessed with money at a young age, with his mind full of thoughts on how to make money. He felt that he didn't know how long to wait for school to come out, and he couldn't wait anymore. By chance, Gu Wenzhou discovered that he was very talented in a MOBA game called Hero of Glory, with scores as high as drinking water and random kills, and the King's game Hero of Glory is the most popular MOBA game in this parallel world, and esports events are in full swing. If one can become a celebrity professional player, they can also reap both fame and fortune. So, Gu Wenzhou fell into Heroes of Glory privately, and he even made money by practicing on behalf of others. Unfortunately, he dared not speak up at all because Gu's mother, as an old-fashioned teacher, was extremely disgusted with internet-addicted teenagers. On the surface, Gu Wenzhou is a key high school ordinary class student with average grades, but in private, he has become a game assistant and even wants to open a live broadcast or go to work to earn a lot of money in the future. At this moment, Gu Wenzhou had just finished filling out an order. Thinking that today was the day his sister finished her art exam, he picked up his phone and expressionlessly transferred 1,000 yuan to her. It's still the same as before. My parents gave me the money and asked me to transfer it to you. Please accept it quickly. My parents asked you to live and eat better in Pingjing alone. Don't always think about saving money by being cheap. Gu Wenzhou sent such a message, adding the classic symbol to the usual cold and descriptive sentence, which made people's brains ache. And most importantly, he has always been very stingy with the nickname sister. He is really not a cute younger brother at all. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Stay tuned. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Stay tuned. Gu Qingge didn't think much when she saw her brother's transfer and the message she sent. She simply clicked on receive and replied to her brother, saying that everything was going smoothly on her end. Upon seeing his sister's reply, Gu Wenzhou remained expressionless and was too lazy to reply. Gu Qingge did not feel strange about her younger brother's behavior, because in the girl's memory, her parents always give her extra money through her younger brother. The messages sent by her younger brother and his indifferent attitude highlight that he is his parents' microphone and tool, and everything is just their task. The girl never imagined that her younger brother, who was 2 years younger than her, was already very good at making money. Gu Qingga's golden god level lie detection skill also did not work, because this skill can only determine whether the speaker is lying face to face. At the end of the day, the prototype of this skill is to detect lies based on micro-expressions, body language, and so on. However, when its level reaches God level, the effect becomes extremely exaggerated, making it a human lie detector. Gu Qingga, who received the money, naturally felt good because she happened to be short of money to register the copyright of Little Love Song. The copyright protection of works in this parallel world is excellent, and correspondingly, the cost of registering copyright is quite high. Songs like Little Love Song, that have been covered and widely sung by many people on Earth require early registration. If other singers want to cover this song next, they will have to spend money to purchase the copyright. When registering the copyright for the song, Gu Qingga also registered the copyright for To the Oak Tree. Because she found that in this parallel world of China, the artistic atmosphere is relatively strong, similar to the 1980s and 1990s in the original world, modern poets are very popular and have a high status in the literary world. Some scumbags even pretend to be wandering modern poets, packaging themselves in a special artistic way, so that they can even sleep in vain to those female literary youths who worship poets, easily deceiving food, drink, money, and sex. If that's the case, Gu Qingga doesn't mind having the title of modern poet and just treating it as a brush. In fact, after the art entrance examination, Gu Qingga's reputation spread rapidly, and some fans of modern poetry developed a strong interest in this highly talented and beautiful girl. Beautiful girls are not uncommon, and poets are not uncommon, but the combination of these two naturally makes people curious. After Gu Qingga completed all of this, the second round of the art exam arrived as scheduled. The location for the interview is still at Huaxia University of the Arts, but it is no longer in an ordinary classroom, but in the grand auditorium of Huai. In the center of the auditorium is the stage, where candidates who have passed the preliminary exam will showcase their talents to the examiners. In the audience, in addition to the candidates waiting for assessment, there are also various media reporters, official media, self-media, and even talent scouts from entertainment agencies, as well as some college students from our school and even other schools who sneak in to watch the excitement. In this world, the annual art exams of top art schools such as Huaxia University of the Arts, Central University of the Arts, and Haida University of the Arts are highly regarded, especially the second round exams. After all, there are too many candidates for the first round of exams, with varying physical and mental qualities. In addition, only evaluating their lines, those candidates with poor lines reciting will only make the scene awkward. After a round of preliminary screening, the candidates selected for the second round of interviews, regardless of their talents, are already eye-catching just in terms of appearance and temperament. Handsome men and beautiful women always have an eye-catching effect and are the targets pursued by self-media. Uncle Jean, are there really any outstanding newcomers in this year's Hui art examination? Hao Jia asked. Hao Jia is a student from Huai University, majoring in vocal music. He is already in his senior year and is about to graduate. He successfully signed a contract with Spark Entertainment Company in his junior year, which has a scale that is relatively small compared to others, with a focus on the music field. The Uncle Zhang, in Hao Jia's mouth, named Zhang Gaoi, is an old star scout from Spark Entertainment Company. He first discovered Hao Jia, who had an average appearance but was quite talented in singing. Although Hao Jia still doesn't have much fame in the music industry today, it's purely because he is still polishing his singing skills and improving his skills. Besides, he hasn't graduated yet, so there's no need to worry. Singers like Hao Jia can accumulate knowledge and soar to the sky as long as they encounter a classic song that suits them. Upon hearing Hao Jia's inquiry, Zhang Gaoi smiled and replied, "There must be some candidates who can pass the Huai preliminary exam. They are all considered good candidates." Hao Jie, however, was puzzled and said, "There's no need for an old senior like you to personally step forward. Song Lei from this generation has already signed with the company." Zhang Gaoi leaned over and lowered his voice, saying, "I came this time with insider information and prepared." Hao Jie couldn't help but curl his lips when he saw Zhang Gaoi looking full of expectations. He didn't think there were any noteworthy newcomers among these high school students who hadn't even confirmed their admission to Hawaii. At the same time, Gu Qingge, who is going to participate in the interview today, has also arrived at the examination room. After being checked by the staff for her ID card, admission ticket, and preliminary exam result notification letter, she smoothly sat in the front row of the audience seat corresponding to her exam number, waiting for the start of the exam. Just as she sat down, a male voice came from beside her. "Are you Gu Qingge? Let's get to know each other. My name is Dai Junqing, and I will become a big star in film, television, and music in the future." Gu Qingge turned to look around and saw Dai Junqing, who was extremely handsome in appearance. His kind of handsomeness was more feminine, with a hint of being a member of the idol group of the Southern Baseball League assembly line. Upon hearing Dai Junqing's words, Gu Qingge nodded seriously and responded, "You're telling the truth, come on, the future star of Sanchi." Dai Junqing couldn't help but take a moment, then showed a charming smile and praised, "Not only are you beautiful, but your personality is also so interesting. What should I do? It seems like I fell in love with you at first sight." "Lie, stop this meaningless conversation. You see, other candidates are all rushing to prepare at the last minute," Gu Qingge said lightly. Dai Junqing's smile was a bit stiff, and he thought to himself that Gu Qingge was really sharp. He thought his face could always make a good first impression on girls. "I don't need to make any further preparations. When it comes to singing, I have never lost since I was young. In art exams that allow people to freely express themselves, my presence will make other candidates very desperate, including you." Dai Junqing said with a forced expression. "Gu Qingge said that I have encountered 2 mental illnesses, right? Do teenagers like to use this method to attract the attention of the opposite sex? Rather than telling the truth, you should lie more," Gu Qingge sincerely suggested. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Little Love Song. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7, Little Love Song. The art exam interview has finally begun, and many candidates are gradually showcasing their abilities on stage. Most candidates perform in vocal music, as singing is a common skill that is easy to learn but difficult to master. Even if you become a professional actor in the future, you must know how to sing, otherwise when you go out for commercial performances, you can't show your acting skills on the spot, right? In addition to vocal music, there are also some candidates who chose dance because it may have been their specialty developed from childhood to adulthood, which can now be showcased. In addition, some male candidates have chosen martial arts, such as performing a set of Tai Chi or lightning whip, to showcase the martial arts virtues of young people. In fact, overall, besides being very eye-catching, the talent performances of the candidates are not considered exciting, which makes the outstanding candidates even more outstanding. For example, Song Lei, a celebrity candidate, presented a set of ethnic dances she had prepared for a long time, and with her perfect performance, she received applause from the whole audience. It should be noted that Song Lei did not specialize in learning dance from a young age, but her performance on stage surpassed that of many dance candidates, which indirectly shows how excellent she is. Song Lei should have become a student of our Hawaii school without any accidents. Her comprehensive qualities are so excellent that she stands out from the crowd. After watching Song Lei's talent show, Hao Jie couldn't help but sigh. Zhang Gaoi nodded but didn't say much. No matter how excellent Song Lei was, it didn't matter to him. After all, the other party had already signed a contract with the top entertainment company in the industry, Qingtian. She was also highly valued at Qingtian Entertainment due to her father Song Guohua, and all kinds of resources were extremely abundant. A potential newcomer like Song Lei, highly sought after by large companies, is almost impossible to be poached, so Zhang Gaoi has no interest in her. At this moment it was finally Dai Juanqing's turn, who was extremely confident. The talent he chose to showcase was not only vocal music, but also dance, also known as singing and dancing. By the way, he could also play basketball. It turned out that Dai Juanqing was actually a trainee who had been practicing for over 3 years. However, due to various complex reasons including family and personality factors, he did not choose to debut in a group, but instead came to apply for Huai. The song sung by Dai Juanqing is called The Last Fireworks, which is a classic brainwashing song of the world's super popular boy band, Cosmic Glory. It is comparable to G on Earth for the teenage years and Nobody for the Wonder Girls. Overall, the popularity of the song is very wide, and the live effect is very impressive. In theory, this kind of singing and dancing divine song needs to be performed by a whole team to achieve the best live effect. However, Dai Juanqing has no dance partner alone, so choosing this song is just not pleasing. However, it is unbelievable that when the highly rhythmic background music was played, Dai Juanqing began his stage performance with great expressiveness. Dai Juanqing sang and danced, his dance movements were extremely standard, powerful, and handsome, but this did not affect the stability of his breath at all. Many people were stunned by the candidate's singing and diving skills. You're a scammer. With this singing and dancing background, why bother taking the acting exam? Isn't it fragrant to just debut and become an idol? Crazy, crazy. I even think this guy can join the super popular boy group Cosmic Glory, in place. How come another monster has emerged in this new generation? Sleeping Trough, this stage performance is also amazing, this guy is really too fierce. Song Lei was really unlucky. She encountered Gu Qingge in the initial dialogue test and Dai Juanqing in the talent interview. Of course, Song Lei also saw Dai Juanqing's talent display, but she didn't show much surprise because she had known Dai Juanqing before. At this moment, Hao Jia became excited. He seemed to have discovered the truth and said to Zhang Gaoi, "Uncle Zhang, you came here just for him. You really need to grab such a good talent first. Among all the candidates here, no one performs better than him, and Song Lei can't compare to him." Zhang Gaoi remained calm, even opening a thermos soaked in goji berries and taking a leisurely sip before slowly saying, "It's not urgent." Dai Juanqing is indeed a good seedling, but his situation is quite complicated, otherwise he would have made his debut long ago. Hao Jie could only suppress his curiosity and continue reading. After finishing the exam, Dai Juanqing returned to his seat and wiped the sweat off his forehead. With a flick of his bangs, he proudly said to Gu Qingge, "How did I perform? Do you feel very hopeless?" Anyway, when Dai Juanqing stepped down, he scanned countless candidates with his spare light, and their faces were filled with surprise, shock, and even disappointment. Especially for those who have not yet taken the exam, their confidence has been affected. Gu Qingge, of course, was completely unaffected by Dai Juanqing. She casually said, "Your performance is average. Your singing level is close to beginner level, and your dancing level is already beginner level. Well, you do have the capital to be confident." Dai Juanqing's proud expression slowly disappeared, as if he had been angered by Gu Qingge and said, "Hehe, then I want to see what you can do." Gu Qingge didn't say anything more, but stepped onto the stage. She had already used a green proficiency level vocal skill card, which, although not a permanent skill card, lasted for 24 hours. After using it, Gu Qingge felt that he had a lot of vocal knowledge, singing skills, and so on in his mind, and his singing skills had suddenly reached the level of a professional singer capable of making his debut. Of course, the green proficiency level skill card can only allow her to reach the level of a second or third-rate professional singer, and there is still a big gap between her and those truly first-class singers, even national team singers. But here, green proficiency level vocal skills are already sufficient. Not to mention, Gu Qingge's upcoming Little Love song is still original. When the examinees in the audience realized that Gu Qingge was going to use her original work again, they didn't want to believe that she could still be as stunning as in the previous initial exam. After introducing herself, Gu Qingge held a microphone in her left hand and simmered for a while before singing. This is a simple love song that sings about the twists and turns of people's hearts. Gu Qingge's voice is relatively cool, extremely pleasant and melodious, and can be called a heavenly sound. She can sing songs very ethereal, and her vocal range is also very wide. Only with purple master level vocal skills can her voice be fully unleashed. Although she doesn't have a master skill card yet, she still sings Little Love Song with a feeling of kneeling and speaking. Little Love Song was originally also such a song. In addition, Gu Qingge's typhoon is also elegant and graceful. She holds a microphone in her left hand, and her right hand swings naturally from time to time, gently caressing her chest. I think I am very happy, when there is your warmth, the air around my feet has turned. This is a simple little love song, singing the white dove in our hearts. I think I am very suitable, as a singer, youth is in. As Gu Qingge sang, I don't know who the audience below started first. They raised their hands high, swayed in sync with the rhythm, and then her movement spread like a virus. The entire exam room truly became a concert venue at this moment. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Perfect Performance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Perfect Performance. When Gu Qingge finally reached the final chorus of the song, Little Love Song, do you know that even if the heavy rain makes, even if the whole world is lonely and kidnapped, I won't run. In the end, everyone will be old. Write down my castle where time and the sound of the piano intertwine. The atmosphere on site also reached its peak at this moment. However, it is a slight pity that although the stage in the auditorium is large, there is no flickering light coordination, which naturally reduces the on-site appeal of Gu Qingge. However, on the other hand, this is only the venue for the art exam interview. Unfortunately, Gu Qingge was able to use an original song to arouse the emotions of almost all viewers. So, how outstanding is her talent in vocal music? Undoubtedly, proficient vocal skills are enough for ordinary people to enjoy, while higher expert and even master levels are obviously aimed at those discerning senior musicians and judges. As for the divine level, it only exists in fantasy and completely transcends the realm of science. When Gu Qingge finally finished singing Little Love Song, and her heavenly voice was still echoing throughout the auditorium, applause and cheers came from the entire audience. The audience's appreciation of Gu Qingge is even stronger than Dai Junqing, who used to excel in singing and dancing. Some of the older viewers, obviously not very fond of Dai Junqing's idol style, are extremely fond of Gu Qingge's pure and focused singing posture. Of course, it still has to be mentioned that it is Gu Qingge's flawless face, combined with her passionate singing style, that is truly charming. With such a beautiful appearance and proficient vocal skills, coupled with the original song, Little Love Song, no one can stop Gu Qingge from winning the professional first place. After Gu Qingge finished singing, she politely bowed deeply to the audience, thanked them all, smiled, and then returned to her seat. This smile, however, was captured by numerous media reporters present, and similar words appeared in their minds. Beauty in the prime of life, beauty in the heart of the country, beauty in the depths of the sea, beauty at its peak. Some self-media editors who enjoy exaggerating their reports have even come up with a title like, How Does a Beautiful Girl Born Every 100,000 Light-Years Look Like? Of course, I know that light year is a distance unit, but it does not prevent him from deliberately misusing it for fishing. It is quoted from the wise netizen who came to his article to comment on roast. This traffic is just right. This wave of small editors is on the 5th floor. At this moment, many viewers, even a few examiners, seem to be still in a state of shock and stagnation. What kind of monster is this? Why can she sing so well? An examiner couldn't help but wonder, why did Gu Qingge apply for the performance department of our Hui? It's not even better to go to the vocal department. With such live singing skills, she can directly debut as a singer, right? Some of the popular little flowers and fresh meat in the circle have weaker singing skills than her. The other examiner was very happy. She chose our performance department, which shows that Huai's performance department is more attractive to her. If she becomes a big star in the future, it will also be the glory of our performance department. Since she values the performance department so much, I'll give her a perfect score directly. She is most qualified to win this first place. Another examiner decisively gave Gu Qingge the highest evaluation. At this moment, some of the other candidates on site exclaimed wildly in their hearts, and some even started discussing directly because they couldn't suppress their true feelings. What Song Lei, what Dai Junqing, in front of Gu Qingge, they are scumbags. Gu Qingge is such a perfect girl, isn't she? She needs to have good looks and talent, which is really enviable, jealous, and hateful. Damn it, I used to think that Gu Qingge was pretending to be a B when she said she could write poetry and songs in her first attempt, but now I realize that she is really a B. The scene was completely bombed by Gu Qingge. Should I go up and sing? It feels like it's better to play a set of martial arts. Dai Junqing watched Gu Qingge's performance from beginning to end, and to be honest, his mentality was a bit unstable. He went from shock to jealousy at the beginning, to shame later on, and then to a mental breakdown. The complexity of it was indescribable. He finally realized that in front of Gu Qingge, he seemed like an arrogant maniac who didn't know the limits of heaven and earth. He was originally very dissatisfied with Gu Qingge's evaluation of his singing and dancing. What is average? He performed so well. Now that he has listened to Gu Qingge's singing, he is completely convinced, and his vocal level is indeed enough to evaluate him. Although Dai Junqing is always obsessed with confidence, when it comes to professional fields, he still has a bit of a B. number in his mind. It's better to just argue, no matter how cunning he is. Gu Qingge, when it comes to singing, I lost. But don't be complacent, at least I am definitely better than you in dance. Besides singing, do you know how to dance and play basketball? Dai Junqing asked from a very tricky perspective. Gu Qingge said that even if I don't know how to dance or basketball now, once I receive enough nurturing jade, the lottery will be over. Don't worry, I learn everything quickly, Gu Qingge replied calmly, showing off her genius side recklessly. The reason she did this is to make Dai Junqing feel jealous. And Dai Junqing also easily fell for the bait. He was so arrogant that he thought he was a super genius. When he met Gu Qingge, who was even more talented, he inevitably felt jealous. Gu Qingge heard the system prompt sound that was dull and mechanical, but she found it incredibly pleasant. She smiled happily. In fact, not only Dai Junqing, but also many of the candidates present inevitably developed feelings of envy and jealousy towards Gu Qingge. As for hatred, it's not enough. Song Lei, a celebrity candidate, inevitably felt sour again. What she never expected was that as a professional actress who had already entered the entertainment industry, she not only lost her lines to Gu Qingge, but also her talent was not as good as theirs. Who exactly is the real celebrity? Song Lei felt that this Chinese art exam was simply toxic. Why did a Gu Qingge suddenly emerge? Slipped away. While feeling jealous, Song Lei chose to avoid it. She didn't go to Huai anymore. Isn't going to Zhongyi fragrant? It is said that Huai produces celebrities, while Zhongyi produces actors. Whether Song Lei is not suitable for this celebrity, she will focus on her acting skills in the future and vow to become a movie queen. Well, as the daughter of a great director, there's no problem with focusing on acting. As for Zhu Xingyi, who is very confident in her singing and has prepared a big trick, she can't even feel jealous now. Is it necessary to be jealous with such a big gap? Zhu Xingyi couldn't understand why Gu Qingge, the vase, could have such talent to this extent, even though she wanted to break her head. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Hot and Furious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Hot and Furious. Uncle Zhang, is that the good seedling you are interested in? I must admit, your vision is too good. Hao Jie said with a mixed mood. There's no way, as a senior who is about to graduate from the vocal department of Hawaii, Hao Jie understands the singing level that Gu Qingge just demonstrated. Hao Jie's own vocal level has certainly reached proficiency level, and it is not impossible for him to work hard in the future to become a first-class singer in the music industry. But all of this requires him to put in countless efforts and sweat. In fact, his current level of proficiency in vocal music is also due to his good talent and persistent efforts. But at this moment, after watching Gu Qingge's performance, the perfect sound quality and overflowing singing talent of his voice made him feel mentally unbalanced, not to mention that the other party still had original talent, so, how can her existence not make people jealous? Zhang Gaoi did not notice Hao Jie's complex emotions. At this moment, he was no longer calm, but said with a beaming expression, "It's her, Gu Qingge. Look at her appearance, and then look at her talent. As long as we sign her, Xingho can definitely take off. She has the appearance of a superstar." Hao Jie felt a bit sour in his heart. He didn't receive such high praise from Zhang Gaoi at the time, only saying that his future was promising. To be honest, I have some doubts. Is this little love song really her original work? She may have had a team behind the scenes for a long time, maybe it's just a clever woman, said Hao Jie. Zhang Gaoi smiled and asked in response, "What do you think of the song, Little Love Song?" Hao Jie replied, "Actually, it's quite simple and easy to understand. It's really like a student's work, and most importantly, it's very catchy, pleasant to listen to, and has the potential for great success." Zhang Gaoi continued to ask, "If you create such a beautiful and potentially popular song, would you be willing to give it directly to someone else? The kind that doesn't even have the right to sign. You should know how important qualifications are for a composer to have a popular song." Hao Jie fell silent. Besides, without true talent, insisting on creating a talented woman is the most foolish behavior. She can even rely on her face to make a living. Is it necessary to make such a fuss? Hao Jie blushed a bit when asked, and he said helplessly, "Uncle Zhang, don't talk about it. I'm just a little sour." Zhang Gaoi smiled and said, "If you have time to be sour here, why not take the initiative to establish a good relationship with Gu Qingge in the future? A creative singer like this may have many beautiful songs in her pocket, but what if there is one that suits you?" Upon hearing Zhang Gaoi's words, Hao Jie's eyes lit up and he felt as if a grand avenue had appeared before him. While Gu Qingge hasn't really become famous yet, he can indeed get the moon by being close to the water. And in a sense, as a male singer, he actually has no competitive relationship with Gu Qingge, but can cooperate instead. As soon as the art exam interview was almost over, after Gu Qingge left the auditorium, she was surrounded by various media and talent scouts. Gu Qingge has now experienced the treatment of a celebrity for a while, but she is clearly not very accustomed to the long shots and short shots of journalists. There's no way, in her past life, she was just a very homey game uploader, and she was able to perform smoothly on stage because she had skill cards. Gu Qingge, when are you planning to debut? Gu Qingge, when are you planning to release the original song, Little Love Song? Gu Qingge, may I ask if your face has undergone microplastic surgery? Gu Qingge, besides Hawaii, do you consider other art universities, such as Zhongyi and Hai? Gu Qingge, classmate. Faced with the media's problems, Gu Qingge remained silent. She was very vigilant about the media in this parallel world, mainly because the media in China in this world are somewhat like the European, American, and Hong Kong islands on Earth. The paparazzi culture is extremely developed, and there are countless unscrupulous tabloids and self-media. In order to prevent her potentially inappropriate remarks from being exploited by unscrupulous media, Gu Qingge chose to pretend to be aloof. She only hated herself for not wearing sunglasses, a mask, and not being accompanied by a few bodyguards. Gu Qingge's lack of cooperation certainly makes these entertainment journalists uncomfortable. If she doesn't speak, then she can't take advantage of the situation. However, considering that Gu Qingge has not yet debuted and is not considered an insider in the industry, entertainment writers naturally wouldn't go too far. After Gu Qingge got rid of the journalist, the scouts gathered again, including Zhang Gaoi, who came specifically for her. Zhang Gaoi was not in a hurry to take action, but wanted to see if there were any old rivals appearing. He breathed a sigh of relief that among the 4 top entertainment groups in China, only the Qingtian talent scout was present, and it appeared to be a newcomer who had just entered the industry. Perhaps due to his background in a top entertainment company, this talent scout named Su Hongbin naturally carries a sense of superiority. While other scouts were praising Gu Qingge with various good words, he came straight to the point and said, "Gu Qingge, sign a contract with us, Qingtian Entertainment, for 10 years, divided into 4 or 6 contracts." Compared to other companies' newcomers, Qingtian is already sincere enough. Once you join Qingtian, you will have far more film and television resources than other small companies. In this parallel world, among the 4 top entertainment groups in China, Qingtian Entertainment is indeed the only one in terms of film and television resources, with several commercial directors who can praise people. Song Lei's father, Song Guohua, is one of them. The other 3 major names are Meiyin, Jin Huang, and Zhuiyue. Meiyin Records, a subsidiary of Meiyin Entertainment Group, is the world's largest record company with unique music resources. Jin Huang Entertainment Group, on the other hand, has a deep background and is a privatized state-owned enterprise with close relations with the official Chinese government. Many old artists with low reputation but extremely high business standards have signed contracts with Jin Huang. In terms of history and heritage, the excellent entertainment group may not be as good as the previous 3, but it is determined to forge ahead and innovative. The brokerage companies under the group have produced a large number of talented individuals who hype up the popularity of celebrities. They are professional, and today's super popular boy group, Cosmic Glory, is highly praised. In terms of variety show resources, Excellence Entertainment Group is the only one. The 4 major universities of China can be said to have both cooperation and competition, and it is common to dig corners and create obstacles for each other. However, they have also formed a tacit rule that whoever dares to challenge the status of the 4 major universities will unite to suppress and demonstrate the iron fist of capitalism. At this moment, when Gu Qingge heard Su Hongbin's offer, she refused without even thinking about it. It wasn't that she refused the Qingtian family, but all the entertainment companies. "Sorry, I don't have any plans to sign with any brokerage firms yet." End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Suddenly came to my senses. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Suddenly came to my senses. If Gu Qingge doesn't have a system, she may sign contracts with top entertainment groups for the sake of so-called resources. But since she has a system, does she still have to worry about resources? For an artist, the most important resource is always the work. Some traffic celebrities may be able to rely on promotion and hype to become popular for a while, but they may eventually go bankrupt, while some artists can rely on a single song to survive for a lifetime. On the other hand, if Gu Qingge didn't have a system, she would be too lazy to become a celebrity. With her current appearance and gaming skills, she is enough to support herself as a game female anchor and upstreamer. In her past life, Gu Qingge lost both parents at an early age, and only her grandmother relied on her for a living. However, she became a startup owner in college and gradually earned a higher income, which was enough for her and her grandmother to live well. At the time when Gu Qingge crossed over and became the game character she had created, her grandmother had already passed away for over a year. So she was completely carefree and quickly entered strategy mode. In this parallel world, China, as the world's #1 country and the top 4 multinational entertainment groups in the entertainment industry, can be said to be very strong in the face of artists. Even the most talented and attractive artist, once signed with the Big Four, must obediently fulfill their 10-year contract. If they want to terminate their contract during the contract period, they will have to pay a great price. Only true top-tier superstars can become independent and collaborate with the Big Four in the form of studios. The entertainment industry artists in this world are even strictly divided into several levels by the top capital, from top tier, first tier, second tier to fifth tier. The treatment that each level can receive is clearly arranged. Of course, capital promotes that the artist's level is strictly considered comprehensively, including the number of fans, endorsement level, work influence, industry expert evaluation, and other aspects to confirm the level. Undoubtedly, in the eyes of top capital, celebrities are just tools for them to harvest fan money. That's also why capital tends to favor traffic celebrities and idol groups, because they are easy to control and can be mass-produced. Being willing to praise you and provide you with resources is the ideal state for entertainment companies, and of course, the company has more reason to lower your share. Artists outside the fifth tier are collectively referred to as public figures, internet celebrities, and the like. Now these scouts are surrounding Gu Qingge, promising her to become a second-tier star within 3 years. Of course, Gu Qingge was not moved. She only felt that this kind of artist-level division was very absurd, but many industry insiders who had already debuted were very pursuing this evaluation. And in this way, you will naturally fall for the trap of capital. If you want to improve your level, you must listen well. If you are willing to accept the hidden rules of big shots, then your path will naturally be widened. Even if you don't have many fans and your works don't have much influence, isn't there any industry expert evaluation? So, sometimes ordinary people are inexplicable. Oh, who is this and who is actually a third-tier artist? Who the hell has he been, what songs have he sung, and what plays have he played? Why did it get on the trending list? Without further ado, after Gu Qingge rejected all the talent scouts in one breath, the talent scouts from other ordinary entertainment companies were okay, and they were mentally prepared. However, Su Hongbin from Qingtian Entertainment didn't have a very attractive expression. He thought his conditions were already rich enough, at least the treatment of a third-tier artist. However, Gu Qingge refused without even thinking about it. Su Hongbin thought that Gu Qingge was very ignorant, so he coldly said, "Gu Qingge, do you know what it means to reject us, Qingtian? You have to learn how to perform. There will always be a dream of participating in a big production and appearing on the big screen. Now you have pushed away such a good opportunity, it's foolish." After Su Hongbin condescended and scolded Gu Qingge as if he were in a storm, he said slowly, "Gu Qingge, when you enter Huaxia University of Arts, you can inquire everywhere. How many students in your performance department are willing to sharpen their heads and enter Qingtian? Even if they sign a 19% share contract, they will not hesitate. We are not a fraud entertainment company. The contract has a basic salary, as well as all kinds of bonuses and subsidies. 5 insurances and 1 fund are complete. Everything is covered. Anyway, as long as you sign the contract, we will train you, package you, and make you a big star." If an ordinary little girl were to be intimidated by Su Hongbin's combination of hard and soft measures, she might be intimidated by him. Unfortunately, Gu Qingge, who possesses divine-level lie detection skills, did not accept his approach at all. This time, she didn't even bother to say a word of refusal, so she bypassed Su Hongbin and left gracefully. Su Hongbin's face was gloomy. He thought to himself that if Gu Qingge had the ability, he would never deal with Qingtian after entering the entertainment industry. Otherwise, he would definitely do something bad. If he could join Qingtian as a talent scout, he would have a background. In fact, being a talent scout in the Big Four is definitely a profession with extremely high implicit benefits. Often, only they refuse others, rather than being rejected. They can even be ordinary people. Who want so many people to enter the Big Four? Under similar conditions, they will naturally choose a more sensible one. Ding dong, the hatred value from Su Hongbin is increased by 5, and you will receive 500 cultivation jade. When Gu Qingge heard the system prompt, she was immediately happy. This big company's star probe didn't poke, almost making her single draw. If there is a chance in the future, it's better to take the initiative to offend him. This kind of guy who hates people easily is quite rare. Gu Qingge looked at the current quantity of nurtured jade and found that there were already 3274, which is enough for her to draw 5 times alone. She has now discovered that it is not easy to quickly accumulate jade through making people envious, jealous, and resentful. The main reason is that most ordinary people are very real. No matter how beautiful and talented Gu Qingge is, it's none of my business. Enjoy your performance and that's it. On the contrary, her classmates, competitors, peers, and stakeholders are more likely to produce nurturing jade. If she thought about it this way, Gu Qingge realized that she had to participate more in programs with PK characteristics. She would naturally be hated for pretending to force others to beat her face and trample on others. Gu Qingge suddenly realized with some hindsight that she was going on a black and red path. She was worried about what the media was doing. It would be better to anger the media when there was a chance in the future. This would definitely make the media hate her and smear her, and even make ordinary people hate her. Gu Qingge immediately regretted not saying a word when the reporter asked a question just now, feeling like losing 100,000 yuan to develop jade. It's very heartbreaking. Gu Qingge felt that she had been too cautious and conservative before. She needed to be more mischievous and playful in her actions. End of this chapter.